Good evening, I'm Rebecca Schwartz and I teach 8th grade art, and I'm going to tell you all about the 8th grade art program. So 8th grade art, while it's going to be a little bit different this year because of everything that's going on, it will still mirror the same curriculum with a few limitations in the supplies. Last year, when school closed in March, I was able to plan some great projects that the students did that are exactly the same curriculum as they've always done, but just kind of broken down in a way that works really well for virtual school. So this is actually an example of one of the units we did last year. Students learned to show the illusion of depth and space using one-point perspective. And as you can see, they created pictures of their rooms in a three-dimensional looking way. The way we did this is we broke it down in a really simple way so that each week they did a different piece of their room. So first they learned to draw the shape of the room, and then in the next project they learned to draw a door, and then in the next project they learned to draw a window and then a bed, and so on and so forth, until this became a room with lots of detailed objects, and then it was colored in, and then the finished project. And this kind of goes to show that each unit we do is going to be broken down into little pieces. The pieces of the unit are going to be extremely simple and probably take maybe 5 to 10 minutes each. So it is very important that students keep up with each little piece of the unit. Otherwise, it kind of becomes a little bit much if they fall behind on their projects, and then they have all those little things to do at once. A little bit about myself is that I was born and raised in New Orleans, and I went to New Orleans Center for Creative Arts and majored in fine arts. And then I went to FIT and I got my BFA in advertising design and worked in that field for a few years. And then I decided to become a teacher, and I went back for my master's and I got it at Teachers College, Columbia. And I've been working at Pelham Middle School since 2002. So I really know the 8th grade age. I've been teaching 8th grade art ever since I started, and I know what they like and what they don't like and how to challenge them in just the right way, but not have them feel overwhelmed. I'm a practicing painter as well, and you can see some of my pieces at the top, as well as some of my graphic design work, and I also live in Pelham. So the 8th grade art curriculum, as I mentioned, is the same curriculum it always was, but we did have to limit the supplies a little bit, and we needed students to bring in supplies this year, as you may have seen on Google Classroom. So first, we are working on building practical techniques and skills so that students can feel confident in their abilities and feel like they really accomplished something, and we're able to learn how to create things they're proud of. The materials, as I mentioned, are going to be brought in by the students so that they are not touching each other's materials, and so that it can transfer back and forth from home to school. We will learn to critique art, and we'll learn a lot about art history and the language of art and art careers and the principles of elements of art and design. We're going to create an 8th grade mural. In fact, to your left, you will see examples of pieces of last year's 8th grade mural. Last year's 8th grade mural was called Pelham Middle School Memories, and students each had to create like a Polaroid picture that expresses a memory they had from Pelham Middle School. And they drew this all out in a program called Google Canvas, which is on everybody's Chromebook, and they did it with their touch screen, and they submitted it to me digitally. And then I printed all their pieces out and cut them so that it was the shape of the Polaroid, and then glued them onto the mural for them. And that was the 8th grade mural. And it turned out great considering school was closed during the entire thing. And this year we will likely do it in the same way. There are going to be pieces of the mural that students will submit digitally and get put onto the 8th grade mural. Of course, everything we do is guided by the IB framework from Pelham Middle School. And we also are going to be talking a lot about contemporary art this year, given that many contemporary artists are responding to current and world events happening right now around us. Grading system. So 75% of the grade is project grades. Every project will be submitted by students taking a picture of it and sending it in digitally. So it is really important that students download the Google Classroom app so that they're able to do that. It's easiest to do it on their phone. They can just take a picture on their phone of their artwork and submit it right from their phone. Everything is graded with a rubric. The rubrics are going to be shared with the students before the project even starts so that they know the expectations. And as I mentioned before, all the projects are broken down into little pieces. So it's just important that everybody does each little piece as opposed to, you know, falling behind, and then it becomes a little bit much to make up all that work. So each one is like 5 to 10 minutes long. And as long as they keep up with that, they should be really feeling very good, and everything's very manageable in 8th grade art. 25% of their grade is called artistic behavior. AB is the abbreviation for that. And it basically means, you know, your level of participation and timeliness and attendance and respectful behavior. That's all the things that encompass AB. Students are responsible for the following things. Everything is kind of shifted now that we're in virtual school. But as I mentioned before, they should have the Google Classroom app on their phone. It really helps a lot because they can take a picture of their art and they can just submit it right from their phone as opposed to having to somehow get the picture from their phone to their computer in order to submit it. Taking a really good picture of their art is important, and I'll be giving a video tutorial later on how to do that that I'll post on the Google Classroom. They should upload a picture of their art to the Google Classroom assignment. That will come later once I give the first assignment. They should also be regularly checking their Google Classroom pages for assignments and also comments. And they should also be at least once a day checking their school email for notifications and also feedback on their work. And I mentioned about making sure that they keep up with the little steps of each unit so that it's not an overwhelming task if they fall behind and have to make up all that work later. I want to thank the Pelham Education Foundation and also the PTA. They have done so much for the art program at Pelham Middle School, and we really appreciate it. And if you come into the art room at some point, you can see all the ways that they've touched our classrooms and programs. Please always feel free to communicate with me. I do not have a T in my last name, so if you put one in, I won't get your email. rschwartz@pelhamschools.org, and email me anytime and keep the lines of communication open. I'm really excited to work with your kids. I've really enjoyed meeting all of them so far, and have a great night.